We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
The Squad suffers a major blow. The Middle East inches closer to a wider war. Home prices hit record highs and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. The Squad was dealt a blow yesterday when Representative Jamal Bowman became the first Squad member to be defeated in a primary. He lost by double digits to George Latimer in what was the most expensive primary in history. Bowman was hurt by his anti-Semitic stance and denial of the events of October 7th and faced a multi-million-dollar backlash from pro-Israel groups to unseat him. Latimer, Westchester's popular county executive, cruised to victory in a race that set a record for the most spending in a House primary. With more than three-quarters of the vote counted, Latimer led Bowman 58% to 42%. What we see tonight is, in fact, the many, Latimer told supporters Tuesday night, referencing Bowman's campaign trail refrain that they've got the money, we've got the many. Bowman threw a temper tantrum as a concession speech, playing the victim instead of taking responsibility for his own actions. Meanwhile, Representative Cori Bush in St. Louis, who was also elected in 2020, and is under federal investigation for misuse of campaign funds, has been outraised by her challenger, Wesley Bell, a prosecutor. A February poll showed her trailing him by 22 points. That election is August 6th. That same month, Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar in Minnesota also faces a tough challenge from a Minneapolis City Council member who nearly beat her in 2022. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, during a visit to the Pentagon on Tuesday, urged the U.S. to continue cooperating against Iran and its proxies after the Associated Press reported that the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff indicated the U.S. won't likely be able to help Israel defend itself against a broader Hezbollah war, as well as it helped Israel fight off an Iranian barrage of missiles and drones in April. The President, the administration, and you, Mr. Secretary, have been with us since day one, Gallant said, according to a release from his office after the meeting. This includes working together to defend Israel against a massive attack by Iran and its proxies. Today, we are at a crossroads that will impact the entire Middle East, Gallant continued. I am here to discuss the ways to achieve our common goals, ensuring the security of the State of Israel and projecting the powerful ties between our countries. Israeli officials last week warned about a possible full-scale war with Hezbollah. French President Emmanuel Macron warned Monday that a victory for the far left or the far right in this month's snap election could spark civil war. Macron said the far-left France Unbound and Marine Le Pen's far-right National Rally both pursued divisive policies that stoked tensions between communities. The far-right's answer to insecurity reduces people to their religion or their origin, and therefore pushes people towards civil war, he said in an interview Monday with the podcast Generation Do It Yourself. Feds probing New York Mayor Eric Adams and a key aide whose home they have raided are looking for private emails and records of trips they made to China, the New York Post has learned. Both the FBI and federal prosecutors have flagged at least one trip taken by Adams, which was partly funded by the Chinese Communist Party. Adams made 7 trips to China between 2014 and 2021 when he was Brooklyn Borough President, organized by key advisor Winnie Greco, who ran the nonprofit Sino-America New York Brooklyn Archway Association Corp., and was then a volunteer at Adams' office. The discoveries were made as part of a widening investigation into alleged public corruption involving Greco and the New York City mayor, a source close to the probe told the Post. Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich appeared in a Russian court Wednesday to face a false accusation of espionage in a secret trial, as a senior Kremlin official told reporters that Moscow was open to the possibility of a prisoner swap deal that would send him home. The 32-year-old American journalist has been imprisoned since March of last year, when he was arrested by the country's Federal Security Service, or FSB, while on a reporting assignment in Russia in a city around 900 miles east of Moscow. Gershkovich, the Journal, and the U.S. government vehemently deny the accusations against him. The U.S. has designated him as wrongfully detained and has called for his immediate release. Home prices rose to a record high in April for the second month in a row, according to the closely watched S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller home price indices. An index tracking home prices at the national level rose an unadjusted 6.3% from the year prior, while an index tracking price growth in 20 large U.S. metropolitan areas rose 7.2%. Consensus estimates had called for a 6.9% gain in the 20-city index. It was the second month in a row that the national index notched a record, and the third for the 20-city index. Heading into the summer, the market is at an all-time high, once again testing its resilience. Brian D. Luke, S&P Dow Jones Indices head of commodities, real and digital assets, wrote in a statement, "The data is an industry standard for measuring home price changes." That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.